Alright, here we are. Very cold this morning. 24 degrees. 24 degrees today. Fahrenheit, that's about -3 centigrade. Chilly morning. We've also... Oh, I had a weird dream last night. See how much I can remember. I know that it was extensive, and it had zombies in it. And the part that I remember was being someplace with Mom, and she was talking about having a home office, and I was wishing I had one. And then seeing a couple of guys dragging a shed up the hill with a truck. But the scary part was, at some point after that, observing, I think it was World War I, maybe it was World War II, prisoners of war, Germans, who were being, oh, come on, don't pee on her, don't pee on her. Anyway, they were moved around by some other soldiers, maybe Polish, I'm not sure. It wasn't Americans, they were in gray uniforms, maybe Russians. And it became very cinematic. One of the German soldiers was taken over. They were being used as a work gang. And one of the German soldiers was taken over to an artillery piece, and then he managed to overpower his keepers and set it off to blow up a bunch of American soldiers. And the rest of the German soldiers took this as a signal. Come on, you two, come on. Took it as a signal to attack. So the Poles or the Russians, or whoever they were, they opened fire. The problem was some of the Germans had somehow gotten some guns. The other problem was, this is where it got really weird here. Hold on. So here's where it got really weird. One of the, we'll say Russians, one of the Russian soldiers, and this is World War II or World War I, remember, so, got hit and fell. And the rest of the soldiers, they were in a line. It was on a railroad track at this point. And they were on kind of a line facing down the track as the German soldiers were advancing. And they all stopped firing on the German soldiers. It must have been World War II. They had semi-automatic, or they had automatic, like, submachine guns. They all stopped firing on the German soldiers, and they drew their sidearms, and they just started shooting the fallen soldier in the head over and over and over. And, you know, it's a dream, and you know what's happening sometimes. And in this case, they were doing that because when the soldiers were falling, then they would get back up and start killing everybody as zombies until, you know, you destroyed their head. So it was very graphic. And then I was out of the cinematic part of the dream. It was into more of my perspective again. And I ran into the house and I yelled for some woman to stay in the bathroom because there was a German soldier loose. And I remember I changed from myself to the woman at least once, maybe. I don't know. It gets weird in dreams. So he comes in. He's got a gun. He's got a submachine gun. And I'm the woman now. I run for the phone, which was a modern phone. The whole thing was a mishmash of time periods. It was one of those futuristic phones that was just a handle sticking up. I'm futuristic as far as like the 70s. So it was just a handle sticking up, and you hung it up by putting it down onto the table or desk or whatever. Anyway, this is taking way too long. So the German comes in as the woman, am reaching for the phone. I'm trying to dial 911. He knocks the phone out of my hand, and I turn, and then I'm seeing it. I'm not in it again. And she grabs the gun, the submachine gun, which is just kind of hanging on his shoulder, and she turns it on him, like while he's still holding it. She just grabs it, spins it around, and just guns him down. And he falls. He kind of stumbles and falls. He doesn't immediately die. And then she yells to me in the bathroom, but I'm her. Again, stay in there, and I'll get a sharp knife. And I grab a knife, and the guy's laying face down on the floor, and I just cut his head off. I just hack in the back of his neck with a knife. And that's about when I woke up. What a weird freaking dream. Hey, you sleeping with your little stuffed elephant? Somebody's curled up in a ball on top of her squirrel. Hey, baby. You're so sweet.